Hello, everybody. I got a new product I want to review. It comes in a really cool case, doesn't it? It looks like a, I don't know what that looks like. But this is something I've been looking for. This is the holy grail of audio. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad and you have a lightning port, and this is true of the old 30-pin port, you're able to record digitally on this device. You know, this is a microphone port, and you can record analog audio into the microphone port, but it's not as high quality, and you're limited by the converter, the digital or the analog to digital converter built into the iPad. So Shure's come up with a great solution. I've tried a few others. There's the iMic. There's a number of companies that make these. But I have to say, Shure, which has made the really great microphones for years, has come up with the solution as far as I'm concerned. This is part of a new series of microphones from Shure called the Motiv, M-O-T-I-V series. Designation is MV. So you've probably all heard of the Shure, the SM58, one of the greatest microphones of all time, used in nightclubs and by punk bands forever. Shure knows how to make microphones. Now, unlike the SM58, which is a great dynamic microphone, this is a condenser microphone. And you've probably heard me talk about condensers versus dynamic. I'm using right now a dynamic microphone, Heil PR40, and I really like the sound of dynamic microphones. But condenser microphones are smaller. They're much more sensitive. And for things like recording a concert, you really have to use a condenser mic for speeches. And what I'm really excited about, especially with the new iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, with its high-quality video capability and this microphone, it's all you really need to make, great, high-quality 4K videos. So I'm going to show it to you on the iPad, and it'll work on any iOS device that has a Lightning connector. It's a little bit bulky. You see there's a base here, and this connects right into the bottom like that. Now, the Motiv series has other microphones that have cables, so you don't have to do it that way, but you can. And then you'll want to download and launch the Motiv software. When you first launch it, it's going to say a funny thing. It would like access to the microphone. That means the microphone built into the iPad. But don't fear, that doesn't mean it's going to use that microphone. It's only if you don't have the MV88, and that's what we're reviewing today, plugged in. So I'm going to say OK. That means you can use the Motiv recording software even if you don't have this fancy microphone. About $150. Now, notice there's a couple of things that are unique. First of all, there's two mics in here, a left and a right. And also, this rotates so you can point the microphones in the direction you want. But let's get really fancy, because the MV software also allows you to change settings on this microphone. So it says, make sure to put the device in Do Not Disturb in airplane mode. That's just so it won't go boop, beep. I could just record, and you'll see I'm going to get a stereo recording out of the microphone. Hello? Oh, I need to turn up the mic gain. Look you have controls for mic level on here. You also have a DSP built in here that allows you to, I'll save that recording, allows you to change the settings for the device. So there we go. Now I'm getting levels on this thing. I just hadn't turned this on. Once you've got this, let's take a look at the settings. This is a mind blower. You can change how wide angle it is. And, of course, if you want it to be directional, let's say you're recording a concert, you wouldn't want to have as much of the audience sound. You can make it narrow. Or you're recording a panel of 4 people, you can make it wider. But even better, let's go to advanced mode. There's an equalizer. There is, you could switch left and right microphones. You could turn on wind reduction. And I really like this. And I don't know if you can see this very well, but it has different patterns. This is what they call a cardioid pattern because it's heart-shaped. That means it records in a kind of a heart-shaped omnidirectional. Can you see that? Let me put it over here. This is a great one. They call this mono bidirectional. It means you will use the top part of the microphone for kind of noise cancellation, and you'll project left and right. This would be an interview mode, for instance. So I'd aim the microphone so that I, as the person holding the iPhone or iPad, I'm on the left here, and the person I'm interviewing is on the right, and it would reject noise out here. Isn't that great? By the way, the quality is superb. Here's an interesting one. They call it raw mid-side. Don't know what that means, but look at the pattern. I guess that'll give you some idea. So these are presets. Once you set the microphone, by the way, it'll store that setting in here, so you don't have to set it again. It'll remember the setting even if you're not using Motiv. And that's an important thing, too. You can use any recording app, including the voice memo app, to record with this microphone. So you don't have to launch the Motiv software. But best of all, the quality is phenomenal. This is much better than the built-in microphone, much better than any microphone that you would plug into the microphone jack. And if you're in a video recording mode, in fact, let's do that right now. It'll record. Go to video and start recording. It'll record, great quality audio while you're doing an interview. I mean, this is ideal for somebody who wants to make his own podcast, record a video. If you're out on a street scene, you can point it more in an omnidirectional fashion like that, and get the left and right sound of a streetcar going by.
We're at a big show, a big conference, and there's people all around talking like crazy.
I really love the products I've made. They're all awesome.
You'll have to take it for granted when I tell you the sound quality on this thing is phenomenal. Is as good as a studio quality microphone. And part of the reason is you're going digitally right into the iPad. It's a digital recording device using an A to D converter that's built into this microphone. And Shure has done a very good job with the analog input to digital output converter, the A to D converter on this. It's excellent. Comes with a big old wind shield like that, which makes it look a little bit silly. Now, really, in a way, I'm reviewing more than just this MV88 because Shure makes a whole Motiv line of microphones, all of which use the Motiv software, so you can control the DSP, the conversion, how it's recording. And some of them are more useful for a different setting because they have a wire that goes to the lightning port, so you could put them on a table. You could use it in a setting like this, for instance, or record a speech. But for recording concerts, for filming out in the field where you don't want to carry around or hold out a microphone, but you just have it all, want to have it a part of the iPhone or iPad, this is really a really great setup. I just think it's fantastic. Highly recommended. Let's talk about the pros and cons. On the pro side, pro quality audio, really good audio from these dual condenser mics, left-right stereo, and also a pro, the software, which gives you real control over the pattern. There are few microphones you can do that with, and I think that's a very, very nice feature. On the downside, it's a little expensive. It's $150, although for a microphone, that's not a horrible price. I'm not crazy about condenser mics, but of course, that's the only thing that would work in a situation like that, so I guess I really shouldn't call that a negative. And at least in the case of the MV88, and another negative, could be a positive, is it has to connect directly into the iPad or the iPhone. Again, that's great if you're out in the street and you want to make a movie. Not so great if you want to record a concert surreptitiously. Don't mind me. I'm just, I like to look at my iPad while I'm listening to the show. But I think, you would probably get the other Motiv, the one that has the cable, if you want to do that, and put it in your hat. Okay, just saying. Pros and cons, very few cons. I mean, this really is a great little device. I'm very excited. I've always, whenever I get a new form factor cable on an iOS device, I'm looking for a digital mic, a mic that will do the A to D conversion out, or the D to A conversion outside of the tablet or the phone. And this one is the best one I've ever used. The Shure MV88, $150. It's a definite buy. And you should be expecting more videos from me, maybe even at CES and NAB.